What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to Blue Jays Today. I realize y'all just saw me do the pre-intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Blue Jays Today, where we always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle. Just me today. Nick is out doing a shoot right now. He'll be back later tonight. Little spoiler, we're going to be watching the Trey Yesavage start, so that's going to be pretty freaking sweet. I hope to see y'all there. But that's what we're talking about today. It's finally happening, ladies and gentlemen. Trey Yesavage is making his major league debut for the Toronto Blue Jays. Nobody would have thought this would have happened. I mean, if you were to ask me back at spring training, I would have said probably a 0% to 0.1% chance that would ever happen in 2025. But here we are. We're going to talk about that as well. We got to talk about the sweep that the Blue Jays just had and take a look at those postseason odds and standings. And then, of course, as always, break down the series later on. To help me get this kick started, we've got Jim from Ballcap Sports joining us today. What's going on, Jim? How you feeling today, man, after a beautiful Blue Jay sweep?
Adam, thank you for having me join in there. I'm feeling good, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe because this season has overshot my expectations on like, I didn't think we'd win the division. I thought maybe we could be in conversation for it. I thought it was a playoff team, but to be in a position to win the division, it's just I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm anxious because now it's in front of us, and I want it. Because I want to win the division, number one, but I also want what comes with what I think winning the division is going to provide, and that could very likely provide the number one seed in the American League. It could provide a first-round bye. So, I mean, I'm loving it. You get a sweep against the Orioles because that was a team I was a little nervous about.
Yeah,
I've seen the Orioles play the Jays tough, but we got some great pitching over the weekend. I'm cautiously excited. Like, I don't want to let myself get too pumped up until we get there because it's a tough. This week coming up is a tough road, man. Going down to Tampa and going to Kansas City. I mean, I don't. It makes me nervous, but I'm feeling good.
It does. I mean, you have no off days. You got 4 straight games at Steinbrenner Field, which you can make an argument has been harder than the Trop. If that was even possible. You're just playing at a trip, a spring training ballpark. But you're right. I don't want to get my hopes up too high because when we look over here at Fangraphs, if you guys can see it, we've got a 92% chance to win the division. I mean, everyone kind of believes Fangraphs, doesn't believe Fangraphs. I like to put a little bit of weight on it. It does feel like the Blue Jays are this close to locking it down. All it's going to take is just a very solid, just decent road trip. The Blue Jays are actually 37 and 37 on the road this year. And honestly, if we just go 3-5 on the road, like looking at Tampa Bay, looking at the Kansas City Royals, it feels like no matter what, even if the Yankees still play well, we'll lose some games, but now we're back at the Rogers Center, and they've been playing so damn good at the Rogers Center. They have the second best record, 50-25, in all of MLB at home this year. That's going to be crucial for me. So I'm feeling confident, too, that it's going to happen. You guys let us know in the chat as well. Speaking of being at home, I saw a stat today that, they are 50-25 at the Rogers Center. Man, how important is that going to be come postseason? Like, that crowd is electric. That advantage is huge. Like, how important is that going to be for the Blue Jays in the postseason?
I mean, just the fact of being home, having the final at bat. Just that alone. Like, the crowd, that's great, all of that. But the count's at, 45 now for comeback wins?
I think it's 46 now.
Is it 46?
They come back almost every day.
Lost track of how many. There's just so many of them. But the fact that this is a team that gets up off mat, having the final at bat, even aside from the fact that you got the crowd there, pumping you up, getting the juices flowing, being home. I like that they're home for the final week of the regular season, and it's another reason why I want them to lock in this number one seed, because then they will be the home team throughout the entire playoffs until you get to the World Series, and then it's the rules change a little bit there, but that's huge. That's we got to take care of business because we got to lock that in.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And I like that you said that right at the end. We do have the home or back at home at the Rogers Center. So it is going to be hopefully a little bit easier. And you got, the Boston Red Sox there too. So that should be a little fun series right at the end. I wanted to kind of play fantasy a little bit because at this point in the season, I mean, Nick and I have talked a lot. Like, man, I'm looking at postseason right now. Like I'm kind of over this whole regular season stuff. We've been sitting on top of the AL East for practically almost 3 months now. We've been sitting in the second bye. Actually, now we're in the first bye for a long time. Let's play some hypothetical right here. If the postseason were to start today, I want to grab your thoughts on this, Jim. If the postseason were to start today, the Blue Jays would have the number 1 bye, and the teams that they'd be waiting for after the wild card series in the ALDS would either be the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees. That whole race right now is actually getting a lot closer after that New York and Boston series, where New York took 2 games away from Boston. But if it were to end today, which team would you rather face in a 5-game format in the ALDS, Jim?
You know what? I guess I would maybe lean Boston. I would take either of them, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially if they have to go. Boy, that would be amazing, by the way. Look at that wild card round. Oh, my God.
I know.
You got Yankees and Red Sox, Astros and Mets. Can we just end? Somebody hit the end button. Let's just go right now as it is. You'd have Mets and Dodgers. You'd have Padres and Cubs.
Yeah.
Like, let's just go. Right now, nobody play any more games. Start the postseason 2 weeks early. This would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would probably lean, I think about the pitching. I would probably lean Boston just because outside of Garrett Crochet, I don't worry about the other Red Sox starters. The Yankee guys with Rodon and Max Fried. And I do think that Warren and Schlittler, and they've got some guys that could be a problem, more so than that Red Sox pitching staff. So I lean Boston because the other thing that would happen, too, is they'd have to fire Crochet in that first round.
Yeah.
So the most you would see Garrett Crochet, this is why that first round bye is huge, the most you would see the ace is one time.
Right.
That would be it. The Blue Jays can line up their ace to go twice, game 1 and game 5 if you have to. You would only see their ace once. So I guess I would lean Boston there. Do you have a lean either way?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I kind of go back and forth. And earlier in the season, I was always leaning Yankees, but that was because of the recency bias where we were just spanking them in July.
Right.
We were just taking games away. And then they were in a funk, though, during that time. And they've started to come out of that funk. Boston looks very beatable in a sense, and I'm with you. Like, their lineup there's a lot of question marks up and down that lineup. The rotation is injured, and they only got really one stud. Bayo's not too bad, but really one guy I got to worry about. When you look over at the Yankees, there's a few guys I do worry about. Rodon, Fried, even though we got to Schlittler, he's having a phenomenal year. Like, I'm worried about him. Heal's back now. Like, so that for me is worrisome. Where every single night we're gonna have to have our best stuff as an offense. So I'm kind of with you. I think I'd rather play Boston. And the advantage for the Blue Jays, too, of course, being the bye team, you get the home field advantage. You're going to have 3 games of the 5 at the Rogers Center. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then, like, looking ahead, too, I kind of love it, too. I'm not going to lie. I love that Seattle and Houston is on the other side of this bracket because I wouldn't want to have to face those guys in a 5-game format. I know the Mariners have been cold as of late and they got really streaky, but their team's really built where they could win any type of series. In Houston, I mean, we just beat them in a series, but they're one of the, in my opinion, the tougher teams right now. So I'm glad that we don't have to face anybody on that side until the ALCS, to be honest. What do you think?
Yeah, I would we just played Houston, did well. Houston's going through some struggles. I would be okay. I would be okay seeing Houston in that second round if that's how it ended up playing. Seattle right now, Seattle can go 5 deep with their rotation.
Yeah.
And Seattle, everybody's hitting right now. Seattle feels like they're just getting into their stride. I think Seattle's a 9-game winning streak right now for the Mariners.
Hello.
So that is just based on what's happening, I would want nothing to do with Seattle. I would lean Houston because, again, if you face them in the ALDS, they're going to have to fire both Brown and Valdez in that wild card round. they could set it up if they got the bye to go with both of them. They would both get two starts. That won't happen if they have to play in the first round.
Yeah.
That first round's a killer, man. You got to get out of that first round. You don't want anything to do with that.
No, thank you. I mean, we don't need to talk about it. What, 2022 and 2023? Like, those teams were, I mean, more 2022 than 2023. 2023 had the great pitching of, like, Kikuchi, and it was just so deep, and, the four-man rotation that were just, like, Iron Men.
Yeah.
But, like, that offense was not as nearly exciting as 2022. 2022 felt like we could have gone as far as we wanted to until we started facing some of the good teams later on. But, like, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't want to deal with just playing 3-game series. I want to give a 5-game series because I think over 5 games, the Blue Jays, same with the Blue Jays. If I'm, like, trying to analyze the Jays right now, they have a deep enough rotation. There's no superstars on this rotation. I mean, you could argue Kevin Gausman. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But, like, that's kind of our ace game one. I think we can all agree that that's our guy we're rolling out there after that 9, inning shutty that he did the other night. But they got a deep enough rotation. They can compete in a 5-game, 7-game series. There's no real holes there. The bullpen's starting to turn around. The offense is just so damn consistent. I'd want over a larger sample size the Blue Jays playing than just, hey, we lose 2 games, we're done,
I'm with you, man.
I'm with you. So, Gausman, let's talk about that. Obviously, game 1 starter. He's your game 1 starter, yeah? Oh, you have another opinion, Jim.
No, he's got to be.
He's got to be, yeah?
With the depth, with all of the options they have, you could think, like, well, it depends on how and what. Because if you have to go... Yeah, if you have, this is why the bye is so important.
Yeah.
You set up Gausman. If you need Gausman to go that last weekend because you're trying to lock in that bye, because I guess maybe that's more the question. Because Gausman, especially what he just did against the Houston Astros, he has shown that he's the guy. He is your number one. He is who you start. If you have a choice, who gets 2 starts in a 5-game series, in a short series, you want Kevin Gausman to be that guy. But the actual interesting, I think, question I'll spin back to you is, what if you need Gausman on game 162 to secure the number 1 seed in that bye? Then who or no, hold on.
No, I'm
getting ahead of myself. You know where I'm going? You know where I'm going with this. Let's say we don't, that's more appropriate. We don't get that that bye.
Right.
But we still have to fire Gausman that final weekend. My question is, who do you go to if Gausman is already used? Who do you go? Do you want Bieber? Do you want Bassett? Do you want Scherzer? Who's the next guy that if you have to start that wild card round because things don't go our way, who do you want in that scenario? I might lean Bieber right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have to go Bieber. I mean, first you trade for the dude, right? You have to. This is why you traded for him. You want him to start in the postseason, even though he has been scuffling. Oh, other than his last start against the Baltimore recently, literally yesterday, he had 6 innings, 4 hits. That looked like vintage Bieber from Miami just a few weeks ago. But he did get roughed up in between. I feel like he's going to round out. That's going to happen. You're coming back from Tommy John. You're just trying to find that, like, finesse. I mean, hell, if you compare him to just a regular start in the year, like, he's entering close to May right now in terms of his, like, ramping up, right? So, he's going to – you're hoping that May Bieber, quote-unquote May Bieber is going to be good enough for the postseason. I think he should be. I'd go Bieber game 2, then Max – or game 1 in this hypothetical scenario that you would go with. And then Max Scherzer, I know the same argument that why we traded for Bieber, you brought him in to start a postseason game. Same thing with Max Scherzer here. You sign him to start a postseason game, even though lately he hasn't really been able to go deep enough, and he's been giving up, enough earned runs, a lot of them being via the home run. Where are you at with Scherzer right now, considering he hasn't been able to go deep? Are you still throwing him out there, and do you have any sort of, like, maybe backup plan in the bullpen for him if you can't go deep?
I would throw him out there, and I would almost feel like he's paired with Barrios. So if you have a situation where you go with Max, I mean, you saw what he did against the Orioles. He gives up a couple runs in the first inning, but then settles down. So you see if he's got that settle down in him, and if he doesn't, if there's no settle down, then you got another long man in Jose Barrios ready to go.
I like the idea because Barrios feels like kind of the odd man out because we're looking at a 5-game series. If they do decide to give them a little bit extra rest and then they throw in, let's say, like Chris Bassett, who's been honestly one of the better pitchers right there with Kevin Gausman in the last month of baseball. You throw Bassett in game 4, and then you have Barrios odd man out because then you want to flip back to Gausman in the 5th game in an ALDS. Yep. So yeah, I like that idea of throwing Barrios back there in the pen. I like it because again, like maybe he doesn't last that long. That's only my biggest concern right now with Max Scherzer. I think the stuff is playing good. He does give up hard contact, but if he can't go deep and you need to save a game, throw out Jose.
I don't think he would. Yeah, I think Max is 5 innings.
Max.
If Max gives you 5 innings in a postseason start, that kind of feels like that would be a win for the Blue Jays. Having Barrios looming back there as a long man, because you know how it goes in October. It's different. You give up 3 runs in the 2nd inning, you could be out.
Right.
Well, it's happened to Jose Barrios.
Yep. It's happened, and he hasn't given up anything.
Yeah, exactly. But the hook is there. The quick hook is there, and to have a guy that could go if you have to go early and then not expose and overwork the bullpen early, because that's the other thing. If you have to go to the bullpen early in the series, not just in the game, by the time you get late in the series and the opposing hitters are seeing the same pitchers for the 3rd or 4th time, you want to try to avoid that. And having some long guys in the bullpen like Barrios could be a major asset.
Yeah, Barrios. I mean, we saw Eric Lauer finally come back out after being gone for so long. Where has he been?
He's another one,
another one, right?
Multiple innings, multiple guys that could go through a lineup, guys that could go through 9 hitters, and avoid exposing other high leverage guys that you're going to count on in multiple games, so that you don't have a situation where, let's say they're facing the Yankees. Aaron Judge is seeing Varland for the 3rd time in Game 5.
Right.
To try to avoid that situation.
Yeah, I'm completely agreeing with you. Before we move on, I know we got a few more minutes with you. I got to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this Blue Jays Today show. It is Budweiser, everybody. Budweiser. Heck yeah, batters up and buds are stepping up to the plate. Budweiser is encouraging all buds to rally for October. October moments are priceless with your buds. Savor the feeling while cheering on your Toronto Blue Jays. Of course, it is the official partner of your Toronto Blue Jays. Baseball is better with your buds. Rally for October. Learn more at budweiser.ca. Now, we're talking pitching. People in the chat are bringing up the idea of, what if we bring Trey Yesavage to the postseason roster? I think that we're all riding the hype train right now. And of course, if you haven't heard already, folks, Trey Yesavage is making his major league debut today, and he's starting. I thought he was going to come in the pen. No, he is starting for the Toronto Blue Jays. I don't think they've made an official roster move yet. When they do, of course, we'll update you guys on our social media pages. But, I mean, Trey Yesavage, I'm just going to hit the highlights here, and then I'm going to grab your opinion, Jim. Trey Yesavage, 98 innings pitched. He's had 160 strikeouts. My goodness. Shout out to Chris Black here, who has a great breakdown on Trey Yesavage. I mean, Trey Yesavage's stuff plays incredibly well. He's got that high slot, almost feels like it's coming down on you. That fastball feels like it never dips because of the angle, because of the rise. His fastball, he attacks the zone. He attacks the upper part of the zone. He's got incredible strikeout rate. He's got incredible whiff on that splitter. And he uses that splitter and the fastball very, very effectively. As you can see right here, he puts it down in the zone. He'll steal strikes. He'll throw it in there and steal strikes. That's kind of the highlight right there. His whiff rate is at 38%. That's top 25 of the 700 pitchers in the minor leagues. Yes. He's amazing, Adam. We get it. Trey Yesavage, great strikeout stuff. Jim, what should we be expecting from Trey Yesavage tonight in his major league debut?
This Rays team, they're going to know exactly what they're doing. They're going to I would expect them to have a game plan. Kevin Cash to install a game plan to try to see as many pitches out of this kid as possible. Because if you have quick innings, You're going to find yourself with a situation where Trey Yesavage is maybe pitching deeper into the game than you would want. If you can do this thing right, if you're Kevin Cash, he's out of there after maybe 3 or 4 innings. I think the interesting element is how he plays through this postseason run, because he could be a weapon out of the bullpen, a guy that
Yeah.
can miss bats, a swing and miss bat guy for a bullpen that has been not at its best over the last month or so. To infuse this kind of a lights out arm could be a major uplifting element to this team. I wonder how you deploy him, because you could either save him for high leverage moments, or does he go out there and he's almost like an opener,
Right.
and he gives you maybe 2 or 3 innings, and then you go to Max Scherzer. Or then you go
Right.
then you go to Chris Bass. Does he do that? I think it maybe depends on the profile of the team you're going up against. If they
Right.
have a lot of swing and miss in them, if they're a team that gets eaten alive by the stuff Yesavage brings, then maybe you're like, he's got to pitch in this game, and he's got to pitch in this game before it gets away from us, right?
Right.
Like it could be a huge advantage to have him start this game. So
Right.
maybe they use him as an opener, maybe they use him in high leverage situations. But the beautiful thing is, I think he provides them with that type of versatility. And that, again, we talked about the Barrios versatility, the kind of asset that would be. Trey's versatility, it's great to get him these innings now to show, because again, he's shown it at every level. He's been able to rise through all different levels of the minors this year, every single one. He checked every single box. He kept the K rate up at every single destination, every single stop. And that's huge, because usually you see that K rate come down as you rise through the ranks.
It
He
kept it up.
Exactly. So we're going to now bring him to the bigs, see if he can keep it the same here, so that you know what you've got. I think it's a great move. I think it shows that the Blue Jays are really thinking about weaponizing him in the postseason.
Look, I agree, and I don't think, and I'll just say this first. My expectations are 0, because he's just coming out to the big leagues for the first time. And, I'm going to set 0 expectations, and to expect anything more is, you're asking a lot from a guy.
Well, I grabbed him and picked him up in my fantasy baseball league, because I just wanted to do it. So,
why not?
So I have my expectations are lofty. I need 5 innings. I need no runs. I need 10 strikeouts. Come on, buddy. Let's
Are you in
go.
a playoff spot right now? Are you banking on him?
I'm leading. I'm at the top. I'm number 1. I've got a comfortable lead, and actually what I need are strikeouts. So
Okay.
Trey, strikeouts would be great. I need to pad the lead. And strikeouts would be great.
I love it. Well, hey, so again, maybe I'm different than Jim, because I don't have him in fantasy, but just like from a viewer as the Blue Jays, I have 0 expectations. What I would hope at least he becomes, just for this season, is exactly what you're saying, a weapon that can be utilized in certain situations, whether it be an opener, like you're saying, Jim, or we're in a jam and Max Scherzer's getting lit up out there. We need a strikeout. There's runner at third with less than 2 outs. We need a K, and he's established that he could do that already in the 2 weeks we have in the regular season. He could do that at the big league level. Then put him in there, and that's what I want to use him as. And the difference for me, obviously, we can look at the great numbers and everything like that, but just from a baseball perspective, from a hitting perspective, that arm angle is so unique. You talk about submarine pitchers, whatever. Most people got these 3/4 like arm slots, right? His arm angle is so unique and different, and the rise on his heater, I think, is going to provide a look that a lot of big league hitters have never seen before, or you're not used to seeing before at the big league level. And it's a simple combination of splitter, sweeper, and they're all coming out of the same slot, and it's going to be very deceptive. When I went down to Buffalo, I got to see it in person, and I was like, I don't know how you decide. I don't know how you make up your mind on this guy's arm angle. And his splitter looks like it's even dipping even more from the arm angle. So just from a hitting perspective, it's going to be very challenging. And that's why, again, I have 0 expectations, but I do predict he will still be effective in some caliber. He's going to go through his bumps, his walks, his homers, his whatever, his challenges, just like any pitcher. But I think he's going to play well.
Yeah, he's going to be a different look. These guys are not going to be used to this. They are the only scouting they're going to have is stuff from the minors. Nobody's faced him before, so he
Yeah,
should be able to. As long as he pitches his game, I think he should be effective. He should be
absolutely.
effective just from the fact that there's no book on him at the major league level yet.
That's right. And you're not going to get a big book in 2 weeks, and you don't know how much you're going to see from him. So hopefully, guys, again, I'm going to be live with Nick. He might come halfway through the game later, guys, tonight, watching Yesavage start. Jim, any final thoughts about the Blue Jays before we let you go here?
Go Jays, go, man. Let's
Hell
get the
yeah.
division, get the number 1 seed, get the bye, get all that stuff. Set this up because the American League is wide open. This team could be in the World Series.
Hell
They can
yeah.
they can do it. They have the talent. They're the number 1 team.
Hell yeah.
It's not like there's a team that's got 100 wins already in the division. It is clearly the class of the AL. The Blue
Yeah.
Jays could be the class of the AL. Let's go get it. Let's go do it. 1993 was so freaking long ago.
I wasn't alive.
Come on.
I wasn't alive, Jim. I wasn't alive
Let's
for
get
5
you
more
one.
years.
Let's get you one. Yeah.
I would love it. Well, I would love it. Jim, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Let's enjoy this journey. I'm sure throughout the postseason, Nick and I are going to do a ton of shows. So if you want to come hop on, just give
man.
us a shout, man.
Just hit me up. I'm ready.
All right, Jim. That is Jim from Ballcap Sports. Everyone gives W's in chat for Jim coming in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. I'm hyped. Obviously, Trey Yesavage is a huge hype for tonight, everybody. I can't wait to watch again. Like I said, we will be live later tonight. I'm actually going to flip back over here. I gotta announce some things because we gotta do our usual stuff here at Blue Jays Today. We usually do the wheel and we'll usually do the J of the week. I gotta go announce the J of the week here, everybody. I'm gonna quickly just try and fix this right here. Boop, boop, doop, boop, doop. And we're gonna take this off. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Boom, boom. Is this gonna work? Boom. Yes. Boom. Everyone enjoying my sound effects? Boom. There we go. We did it. We figured it out. All right, guys. You know what time it is. It's time to announce the J of the week. This should come to absolutely zero surprise, and I even felt dumb asking you guys on Twitter, who is the J of the week? Because it should be so damn obvious. The J of the week is Kevin Gausman. Absolutely. Like, not even a question. When we look over at the poll that I put out there, I'm pretty sure it was a ridiculous. Yeah, 87% of you said Kevin Gausman for J of the week. That is, of course. And hey, Addison Barger, George Springer had awesome weeks too. You know, Addison Barger, he was struggling for a while. Wanted to highlight him a little bit because he was, again, struggling. We need him for the postseason. He's broken out. He led the team in RBIs and OPS last week. And of course, George Springer, man, like, this guy can't stop. He's still got it. It's September 15th, and he's still mother-loving got it. But yeah, you can't go wrong with giving Kevin Gausman the J of the week. He was phenomenal. 9 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, and to make it all sweeter, it was the Houston Astros, who I'm terrified to play in the postseason. They are struggling, like Jim said, but I am definitely damn terrified. So yeah, W's in chat for Kevin Gausman. We've got 275 people in here. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. We are so close to 35K. Our goal, Nick and I, is to get to 35K before postseason begins. So we're about 500 away. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that button. I wanted to also bring this up too because this was some drama over the weekend involving the Baltimore Orioles broadcast. If you haven't heard it, I encourage you guys to go to our X and check out this video or go to our Instagram. I posted it on there. I'm not going to play it on here because I think I'll get copyrighted. But essentially, the Baltimore Orioles broadcast crew was questioning why the Blue Jay fans, were booing a pickoff move that the Orioles did to one of our players at first base. And they questioned the IQ. The literal quote is, Sometime we had some major questions about the baseball IQ of Canadians. Maybe they know a little bit more about hockey than baseball. Now, he has come out and apologized since then. And it's funny, he prefaced before he said this, he was like, I got to be very careful what I say here. And then he goes on to like insult the IQ of Canadians. So I just want to bring that up. If you haven't heard it, it was kind of shocking for me. And I was in the car with my girlfriend and I was absolutely getting rage baited. I had to cut this up. I threw it out there. I was like, my goodness, like, as someone who's been a baseball fan for my entire life, and I grew up playing baseball, and I pride myself with knowing about the game of baseball and the intricacies of baseball. It hurts when I get thrown into a category of just being Canadian, and that's why I don't know about baseball. I mean, I'll be honest, I know the bare minimum about hockey. I don't know much of the intricacies and the details of hockey. I don't really know about because I didn't play hockey. I grew up playing baseball my entire life. So to hear that, I'm glad he's apologized because you had to go and apologize. But it isn't the first time it's happened when the Blue Jays have gotten the spotlight. I remember back in 2015, we heard something about like Canadians need to watch out in the stands for foul balls because they're not really used to watching baseball games, which again, very insulting. Grew up playing baseball and watching baseball my entire life. Ignorance is real. That's fact, Dan. So I just want to bring it up there. Yeah, it's sad that being Canadian is being classified as being you don't know baseball. And I guess to his credit, the point is like, yeah, nowadays the pickoff attempts actually is an advantage because he was arguing that like, well, you pick off, you lose your disengagement, which means you're one more pickoff away from actually running and stealing a base. So I get where he's coming from, but all people in MLB, all fans, all stadiums still do that. So it's more of just like when you're at a stadium and you're having a couple brews and you're with your friends and your team is trying to win and they were up 3-1, they had a big inning, and then they pick off. You know what? Yeah, I know nowadays, the last 2 years and 3 years, it hasn't made a lot of sense. It actually is helping you. But you know what? Boo! Boo! I'm enjoying the game. I paid money for this ticket. I'm spending over $100 on food and beer and gas and getting here. Boo! You can't do that and try to get my player out. Boo! So yeah, go ahead and keep booing everyone, even though it doesn't actually make sense. Why not? All right. Let's move on and let's talk about, do I want to talk about this yet? Do I want to talk about the upcoming series? I think it is time to talk about the upcoming series. But before we do got to give a shout out to another sponsor here at Blue Jays Today, Pizza. Pizza, guys. Meet your new game time favorite, the Stromboli and drink combo from Pizza. Now, total sidebar, I'm going off script right here. We had that last Friday. I actually haven't stopped being able to think about it. I'm not just saying that because we're sponsored by Pizza. I'm actually serious. That was an incredible thing I ate. It was like a garlic bread stuffed with cheese and pepperoni, and it was like a mozzarella stick if it was a garlic bread and pepperoni. It was incredible. 4 mouth-watering flavors of the Stromboli, the pepperoni, which we had, the pesto Mediterranean, 4 meat and smoky barbecue chicken. Roll up with Pizza today. If you want something different, try it out. Absolutely. Try it out with a combo with drink. Don't wait. Swing by Pizza today, or order on the Pizza app, or order online at pizzapizza.ca, because Pizza, everyone deserves pizza. All right, let's move on, guys. Let's talk about this upcoming series against the Tampa Bay Rays. We've got 13 games left. Can you believe it? I can. It's been a long season. Some seasons feel like I blink and they go by and it's like, wow, like, that was so fast. This season's felt really long because I just couldn't believe what I was witnessing with my eyeballs, my 2 very own eyeballs, watching this go down. But here we are. We have one more 4-game series on the road against the Tampa Bay Rays. We're going to face them 7 times over the next 13 days. And to give you a little recap of how they've been playing lately, in the last 15 days, the Tampa Bay Rays offensively are 7th in baseball at 766. Now, the Blue Jays, just comparison, have been 3rd in baseball at 836. They are phenomenal. The Blue Jays are, I say time and time again, they are phenomenal. On the pitching side of things, they have actually been pretty good as well. They're tied for 11th in ERA at 398. But the Blue Jays are actually 2nd in baseball at 313 in the last 15 days. That is amazing, everybody. That is amazing. So the Blue Jays have been playing better ball than the Rays, but we're at Steinbrenner Field, and we got to face these Tampa Bay Rays. So let's talk about the first matchup, which, of course, is Trey Yesavage. He's still wearing his prospect hat. where he got drafted. Is that the MLB draft hat? He's still wearing the MLB draft hat, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't even have a headshot of the Blue Jays hat. He doesn't. It's literally still that. That's how fresh he is. We're going up against TBD. Now, I don't believe they've announced it yet. When I was first going live, they didn't announce. I was checking before. But if anyone knows who it is, I'm pretty sure it's a bullpen day. And there's Sophie saying bullpen day. I'm pretty sure it is a bullpen day. But you got Trey Yesavage. What should we expect? We talked about with Jim. Honestly, my expectations for him is he's probably going to go like 3 innings. I mean, it all depends on how he does. 3, maybe 4 innings. Because he was only going 3 or 4 in Buffalo. Now, I don't know if they were ramping him down because he was hitting an inning limit or they wanted to save him for, up in the big leagues. But I'm only going to expect like 3 or 4. I'm not really going to get too over the top. Now, we are against Tampa Bay Rays. We are playing better. It is a bullpen day. But the thing about this Tampa Bay Ray bullpen is I believe they're pretty damn good. Let me just do a little bit of my own research right here. My computer's glitching. Let me look at their reliever ERAs. I'm pretty sure it's not too shabby. Yeah, they're 9th in baseball in relief pitcher ERA. Now, unfortunately, I had to go deep diving to find out how that relief core has been doing as of late. I don't feel great about this, especially when you consider the Jays are going to have to probably use, a bit of a bullpen day ourselves. Their bullpen isn't great. Well, I think they're a little bit better than us, if we're going to be completely honest. I mean, we're 13th in ERA. They're 9th in ERA. So just a little bit better than us. I don't feel great. And I hate to put pressure. I hate to put pressure on a guy in his big league start. Do I say we lose? Hoping for a low-scoring game today. We're on the road. We just traveled. You got Yesavage. You're going to have to probably pitch parts of our bullpen you don't want to pitch. I'm going to be honest, Chad. I am going to predict that we lose. I'm going to say, I like that score by Sophie. I'm going to come up with my score prediction later when we do the live stream at 7:30. It's also at 7:30, by the way, everybody. If you haven't clocked that yet. It's not clocking you. It's at 7:30. Sorry, that's a Bieber joke. I'm gonna say we lose this one. I don't know exactly what it is, just because, it's first start, bullpen could be used. But let's move on to game 2, everybody. You've got La Máquina up against Ryan Pepio. I don't ever know how to pronounce his name. Pepio? No idea. He's up against Jose Barrios. Jose Barrios had a better outing his last time out. That was his first, it wasn't quality, but it was 2 outs shy of quality last time out. And Ryan has been, very solid. He hasn't given up an earned run in 3 outings. Have we faced him this year? We have. He dominated us. 3 hits, 7 innings back in May. Yikes. Do I say we go 2-0 here? Pepio's coming off the IL. Oh, it's a short IL. That's true. Thank you, Sophie. I didn't catch that. Do I say we get the L here again? God, I feel like we might, chat. I'm not gonna lie. We swept. We made up some games. We went 5-1 on the homestand. I'm gonna say we go 0-2 to begin this series. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. But some fortune's got to come around, because in the next game we do got Kevin Gosselin up against Seymour. I don't care who Kevin Gosselin's facing. He's a dog. We'll get the W. By the way, everybody, this is the game that we're gonna be at the Pint for. Let me flash this over here so I can bring up the graphic for y'all. This is where we're going to be at the Pint. We've been shouting it out a little bit. It's literally in 2 days. Me and Nick, we're going to be at the Pint Wednesday, September 17th, watching Kevin Gosselin start. That's going to be amazing. It's a free entry, and we've got a lot of stuff to give away. We've got $1,000 worth of jerseys. $1,000 worth of jerseys giveaway. This is the biggest giveaways we've ever done here at Blue Jays Today. So come there and go get your chance to win a jersey. We also got $500 worth of beer gear, as they call it, presented by Budweiser. You want to come check it out as well? Come grab dinner. It's $24 for a pint and a burger down at the Pint. So be there, guys. We're going to open up the doors at 5:30. We'll do the pregame show around 6:10, 6:15. We'll chat with some of you guys. And then after, once the game started, we're not doing any live play-by-play. We're literally just going to be hanging out, kicking it, chatting with y'all. My girlfriend's going to be there. Victoria, I think, is going to be there with Nick. So, we're bringing the friends over. So make sure y'all be there. Let's move on. And let's chat about game 4 here on Thursday. We got Chris Bassett up against Baz. Ooh, this I needed this. Bassett has been playing better. He is on the road, though. mind you, I don't know how much of a believer I am. I mean, Bassett's an old school guy where like, yeah, maybe the road does affect him, especially playing in a AAA ballpark. And is this a night game? It is. No, it's a day game at 1 o'clock. Okay, that might be a little bit better for Bassett because, some of the lighting issues are pretty bad. So, you know what? I'm really trying to find a way to make his road stats make sense. Bassett's been giving up a lot. Also crazy. I don't know if y'all can see. Is that a gray mustache from Shane Baz? Does he have a gray mustache? It's blonde. Damn, dude. He looks sunburnt. Holy, he's weathered this season. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of Shane Bass. It's just the contrast of the sunburnt face versus the blonde stash. Man, I don't even. It's like when you. Okay, I'm not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna make fun of this guy. It looks like a random generated character. That's wild. Crazy. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I'm gonna say we win, and we go 2-2 on the road against the Tampa Bay Rays. So that for me feels pretty solid. I like it a lot. You guys let us know what you're predicting down below. I like a little split. Absolutely. I'm totally fine with that. We're going to move on to the final part of this Blue Jays Today show, which is spinning the wheel.
The spinning fortune, baseball, colorful, future determining, stat analyzing, and it's a wheel that we spin every week.
It is, in fact, a wheel that we spin every single week. Last week, I did take 2 off of Nick. He got 1, though, so I'm still down by 3. I have 2 series to go, or 2 weeks to go. I need to get a sweep if I want to try and come back. Like, either I get a sweep or I go 2-0 and 2-0 and get the win right there. How is Nick going to pick? That's where I'm answering right here. So I texted him this morning and I spun the wheel off camera. Sorry, y'all. And we got our pick. So in the first category, let me just kill this. Boop. Is it gone? No, it's not. Boop. Gone. Sweet. First category that I spun was stolen bases, our favorite. Stolen bases, and he let me go first, and it was the worst one you could possibly get. I ended up picking Springer because he's on base a lot, and literally nobody's stealing bases, and George actually tries. I'm going to go Springer, and then he said he would take Ernie Clement. So there you have it. That was the first category. Category number 2, he picks every time first. We got worst J, and obviously, he picked first. This was a layup. Sorry, Jimenez, but Jimenez was absolutely the obvious choice for worst J. So he picked Jimenez. He has like an OPS of like 580 in the last 15 days. The guy also has a 580 OPS last 15 days. Unfortunately, one of my favorite players is Nathan Lucas. Barger actually has been pretty good, and Beacock. He was almost a J of the week if Gosman didn't throw the complete game shutty. I could have went Hoffman, but I believe in him. I believe in him too hard. And final category, we went with strikeouts, and I liked the next pick here a lot. I liked it a lot. It was strikeouts per 9, right? For the pitchers. Anyone want to take a guess what he picked? For pitchers, he picked Yesavage. I was like, dude, I didn't even think about that. That's a good move. Yeah, Yesavage. I, of course, went with Little because he won me the category last week. He had like 3 2/3 with 7 Ks or something like that. So like he still popped off. See, Gosman doesn't get a lot of strikeouts per 9. Everyone says Gosman and Bieber. They don't get a lot of strikeouts per 9. Actually, these bullpen guys get a lot more strikeouts per 9 because they're in the bullpen. But yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to need a sweep. I'm going to need Springer to get 1 stolen base, Clement to get 0. I'm going to need Jimenez to find his like first week, late March, early April self and pop off. And then I'm going to need Little to throw like 1 inning and get 3 strikeouts and have a strikeout per 9 of 27. But guys, that is the Blue Jays Today show. How can anyone believe in Hoffman is beyond me. It's a false hope, okay? It's like I'm lying to myself to make it better, okay, Gigi? I'm just lying to myself. That's why it is. But that's the Blue Jays Today show. Again, we're going to be live tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Trey Yesavage's debut in Must Watch TV, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying your Mondays. We got 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks until Blue Jays playoff. I hope to see y'all there at as well, The Pint. And thank y'all so much for watching. And as always, guys, go Jays, go!